Alright, we got Spotyus in the teal playing Nuru. We saw some Nuru earlier today. We might see another Nuru victory coming in here. Who knows, but we also have Spotyus playing as the twins in their default black color. Alright, we're seeing rifles do their thing. This is open season, so both players start with a rifle. In this case, it's a full health rifle. The original Wargroove 1 version of this map, the rifle was injured, which allowed for some interesting plays, especially off of like Mercia, for example. But in this case, it's a full health rifle. Rifles were nerfed, of course, going into Wargroove 2, so definitely get to see a bit more of them as a result. Yeah, Air Trooper coming out. Really interesting early buy, but it is going to allow for this kind of very aggressive capturing into the center and probably onto the sides as well. How is Skyro going to respond?
Here I come.
Okay, well, Nuru's gonna, go for some damage here. Onto the side. Actually, Skyro very aggressively onto this left-hand side as well, so they're gonna hold possibly both corner villages. We'll see. It pulls the sword back, actually. They maybe could have tussled with this sword and the commander and just slowed everything down a bit, but decides against that and just gonna let their opponent knock down the corner village. So, largely mirrored match, but Spotyus with the air trooper, which is I think gonna give them some nice mobility options. Skyro, on the other hand, speaking of mobility options, has a balloon out. I do some nice work with this rifle and this sword as well. And balloon's very effective now, just because that rifle nerf that came in, they can only shoot the first unit in a formation. So you can just shove the balloon in front of your rifle if you go up against your opponent's rifle, and unless they have a good anti-air that can one-shot the balloon, like, you're basically getting free fire on your opponent's army. And particularly your opponent's rifle. Okay. Twins just gonna go for a little bit of damage on this village. Yeah, they're gonna knock that down, and we're gonna see the slow rotation. Ooh, actually, they're not gonna go for the capture this turn. Interesting. Just gonna go for this knockdown instead. So Spotyus favoring to play an aggressive style. And had this been original Wargroove 1 twins, you would see fire get thrown down in front of this stronghold here, and then there would be this huge can you win in the 3 turns before the fire spreads to allow the twins to just win the game. However, the nerf to the twins, or I guess it's largely a nerf, but it is also like makes their groove way more flexible in a lot of ways. Means that sure, they can throw fire down in front of their opponent's stronghold, and yeah, that could be very annoying, but it doesn't also win them the game. So we're going to see a bit more of an interesting match here because of that. And like I said before, balloon in front of army, rifle can't shoot it anymore. I believe it shot the village instead. Electing to do a little bit of chip damage. This sword up in the corner. Going to do some nice harassment. Force this village to get decaptured for a turn.
A little help here?
Ooh, and we see the first Nuru groove. What's going to come out? Is it going to be Dog? It is. Dog going to one-shot the rifle. And this is a classic move on this map. Your opponent has 1 rifle for the game, you get Nuru out, you throw a dog down, dog runs up 1 shot, and now your opponent no longer has a rifle and you do. And you get to play, I guess, almost very conservatively for the rest of the match. That said, Spotyus going to do some work with their own dogs, take out 2 swords, get the counter attack on that dog as well, and are they going to be able to get, like a good position from this point forwards? Nice harassment here with this harpy. And, ooh, they could potentially have tier 2. They are going to have tier 2 this turn. Okay, where is this cooling flame going? It's going to go here. Okay, nice wall for the twins. And, takes down the village. So this is a really nice turn from Spotyus. I really like the turn from Skyro. I think taking out your opponent's rifle is a big advantage on this map. Shooting the cooling flame is an interesting choice. That is going to go down next turn though, so yeah, that makes sense. They have their own golem out in front here, so this is actually a really interesting game state. I'm very curious to see where it's going to go from here. Spotyus, I think, has a slight eco lead. It's only very minor. And of course, yeah, they did like a bunch of really good damage with their army last turn. Now down the rifle, and that is a pretty significant disadvantage on a map where you can only have one rifle. And Skyro can just play very conservatively and just shoot things. Like that sword, I think, was a bit of a sacrifice there. And now, yeah, Skyro can just take their time, recapture things on the map. Just kind of hunker down almost. Like, you can just take your time. I mean, the real worry is that Twins gets fire and you have a bunch of army that just gets flamed. But as long as this rifle is up, I think Skyro has a chance. That said, lots of damage coming down on these villages on the side. Really nice damage on this mage. It's going to live, but only just. It's only really going to be used for healing at this point, not for damage. Okay, dogs go down as well. And Spotyus is just like, you have a rifle advantage, I need to push and like make sure I get my own advantage. Dragon actually going to get surrounded here. Ooh. Not a place you want your dragon to be. You're gonna have to sacrifice a unit to get this dragon out, I think. Or maybe, actually no, dog, I think, yeah, kills this sword, and yeah, Skyro's fine. Skyro, yeah, just gonna push on this left-hand side while trying to hold off on the right. Okay, nice sword crit there. Dog comes in, that's gonna allow the dragon to escape. And there's no anti-air nearby, so actually Skyro's gonna get a really good fight this turn. That said, I think Twins gets groove. Not that soon actually. Rifles have ammo, so that's gonna be the one. This is gonna be the turn Spotyus really was pushing. Oh, it gets the dog to punch through and takes out their opponent's rifle. So open season is now closed. Both rifles going down. Okay, just a bit of chip damage from this harpy coming in right now. Commander on a mountain, yeah, it's not gonna do much. And yeah, Spotyus just gonna do so much work with these dogs. Keeps pushing forward. Twins have groove again. Nuru's might have groove at some point, but not gonna be anytime soon. I don't think they can get it this turn. I think it has to be the turn after. It depends how the rest of combat goes this turn. Lots of stuff going down, lots of units getting killed. Nuru, 82%, 84, 88. Oh, if that had like gone and just hit something, maybe that could have worked out, but no, I think Skyro's just like, I gotta get my army back into a small area, get ready for this overwhelming force coming in. Spotyus has fire as well. Does he just throw down fire in this position? Maybe. Oh, is this actually a suicides? I don't think so. I think it's just chip damage. Oh, unless you throw fire down on your mage, in which case, yes. Okay, we got Scorching Fire coming in. Behind? Yes. Okay. And which dragon kills the golem, open on two sides. That's going to be a night crit. Oh, this is really, really well played here. Spotyus going to get the lethal this turn. And yeah, that was a beautiful turn. I really like that. I'm just going to get the lethal on Nuru. So really nicely played there by Spotyus. Twins, I think, are a little bit more powerful than Nuru is right now. There's a lot of discussion in the community about which commanders need buffed and nerfed. Twins, I think, are just fine. You can just not touch them. And people would be okay with that. Nuru, on the other hand, probably needs a little bit of love. And yeah, but that said, this is a really good game overall. Skyro, really nice pick off. Just lost a bit too much army that turn. And then I think Spotyus overall just played the economy game really well. Had a economic lead for quite a while and just kept it, so that was really nicely done. Spotyus is going to take the game, and yeah, well played to both of them. That was a very fun game to watch. I really like open season as well. I think it's a very good match.